There's trash everywhere, Gina! Trash!
I'll never tell. You know you love me. XOXO.
Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Audra, your host, and I am in the unique position for starting 2023's new makeup nonsense bingo with, I am sobering up, honestly. I have coffee in this mug, like I'm not even kidding. And there's nothing special in the like no, I've gone too far. But to be fair, there are reasons behind it. I'm not going to discuss them, but they exist. Anyways, we are here with another, well, the first new makeup nonsense bingo of 2023. And I, as usual, am behind my compatriots, Teresa of Teresa's dad, and Emily of Imperfectly M. Why am I behind? Well, I'm trying to solidify my life right now, and it's going to be a bumpy ride trying to get everything together. There's an impending move. There's a lot. And honestly, y'all, can we just take a moment to talk about this look? Talk amongst yourselves. Because it's fucking fire. It's fire. Come on. I used a little discontinued palette and this, a purple from a palette. I don't even with that brand no more. Then I just got so inspired. There's a depth in here. There's a whole party on these eyes making for gorgeousness, and you're welcome. As usual, nothing on my face will be listed in the description box below. If you truly have a question, ask it. I'll answer it, and I'll probably answer it with a link, and that link might in fact be what affiliated. For those of you who are uninitiated into the cult of new makeup nonsense bingo, it is a game I play with my two aforementioned friends, Emily and Teresa. My nostrils were doing some weird-ish, y'all, and I had to like them back. Have you ever done that? Like, it's not a snork where you're putting it in your throat. You just have to open them up. Anyways, the point is that we are playing a super fun game of Will I Buy It that includes imbibing an alcoholic beverage, which I will not be partaking in. Hopefully, I will be sobering up as the video progresses. But the other two, they're going to be getting smashed, as they should be. And you will also be playing a game of bingo. You, meaning me, editing me, do your job if you want to. Listen, at this rate, the reality is I may not edit for bingo. I just may be talking about the new makeup because, listen, like I said, there's a lot of life stuff going on with me right now, and I don't want to jinx any of it. I really want it to come true. So we're just gonna, it is what it is, okay? If there's a bingo card, huzzah. If there's not, come back next Friday, 2 Fridays, Friday after next. I don't know how to do that. Friday after next. Anyways, Will I Buy It with bingo, adult beverages, where we discuss new makeup releases. Now, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I went and I looked, and I feel like a lot of the new makeup releases, it's like glittering garbage on top of other garbage. And like some things look better than they should because the other stuff looks like literal hot trash, like turds directly out of Beau's buttocks. He doesn't even have buttocks, he just has a hole. But the point is, because he's a dog, they don't have butt cheeks. We're gonna move past it. I am too drunk to be doing this right now, but yet here we are. no idea what is here. Like, I feel like, so here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say this. Like, while I don't know what's in the folder, because I haven't been there, I haven't checked, because honestly, I just got out of the Christmas holiday. I thought I was gonna cry for a second, because honestly, like, it deserves crying. Do you see those white things, the clear things that are supposed to be like, oh, you use those to hang on hangers, but I can't cut them off because I know that if I cut them off, I'll still feel like the edges of them, like, cutting into my skin. It'll be a nightmare. Anyways, the point is, I just got out of the Christmas holiday, where quite literally every day was another 13th reason. And I've made it to here. I've made it to the 5th day of January. I'm disappointed in 2023 already, but we're gonna move past that. Anyways, I don't know what's in the folder, but I do know that I did look at makeup and I was like, boo to everything. Like, I feel like I literally didn't like anything. And you know what? I'm gonna start this off strong for me. For me, it's strong. I'm gonna start with Necromancy Cosmetica. Here's the thing. I want them to stop trying to make folding shadow things work. And I don't, because I would buy this if it didn't do that. Isn't that weird, wild, interesting, delusional? I would buy a lot of these because I don't like the foldy fold situation. It's not my cup of tea. I know a lot of people like it. They're like, oh my God, that's so great because you can like fucking fold it. Fold it? Girl, what? Also, don't mind my voice. I literally just got off of Marco Polo, like probably 10 minutes before I started filming, screaming wildly at M. Screaming. Because some of my life plans that I mentioned before seem to be coming the way that I want them to, and I'm hoping that they will. Screaming, top of my lungs. To this day, I'm not sorry. Anyways, I just feel like I would like this brand if they weren't married to that concept. Do you know what I mean? If they weren't married to the foldy folds. I don't like it. I know that other people love it. I don't like it. And I think it's because I have unusual strength, or like I like to call it neurodivergent strength, in which I am simultaneously stronger and weaker than you expect. All right. Like, I will rip your arms off with my bare hands. Right. But I can't, like, open a twist top of Sprite. It's a weird situation. Like, I will just, whoa, and you'll be like, oh my God, blood spurting. You're like having a bad situation. I'm super sorry. I didn't know I was that strong. But hand me like a bottle of Sprite. Be like, no, babes. So, like, that's my concern, is honestly that, like, I will just rip these apart by accident, and then I'll be so upset that I spent any amount of money on it. Cut. I just said cut. Like, there's a person to stop the video. Just in time for Valentine's Day, there is one thing to keep my cold, dead heart beating, and it is whatever this is. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go look it up. Violets are blue. Roses are red. Violets are blue. Something is dead, and so are you, bitch. Listen, I know that this is just another holiday palette, but it looks disgusting and I'm loving it. Hold on now. Hold on. Whilst I'm looking for it, I just need y'all to know that I spent, I don't know, a stupid amount of time today trying to teach my mom how to selfie. It didn't work out. It's okay. You know what I mean? We'll do some other things some other time. Anyway, let me pull this up. I have returned from wherever it is that I went, from whence I came, and from whence I was. Creature Cosmetic Labs is who this is by, and I love it. Honestly, I love it. And here's the thing: the photo of the very, very pale, the photocopy, the printer copy. Listen, they're bringing back their My Bloody Valentine collab. I just gleeked. And I can tell from this photo of this girl that, like, for sure, most of these are gonna look like okay on me. All right, mediocre. Because she is what is the shade that she is, and I am not that. So I still love it though. I love the packaging. I like the blood splatter inside. I'm for it. I'm gonna live my most medium life. Restocking soon. I'm about that life. I'm very excited. That's one thing I'm excited about. Let's see if there's more things that I can get excited about in this. Oh my God, my voice is so nah. All right, so the next thing we have up is Nars. And they were like, hey, were you bored by us last year? We'll prepare to be even more bored this year. Now, to be fair, I'm not Nars's market because primero, none of this looks like me. So obviously not for me, which is okay. Like I do like a, like a sorority girl moment. I do enjoy that. I do enjoy a normal moment, but I really like look at, this is the first time I looked at myself in the viewfinder. Oh. Anyways, I do enjoy like a normal, cause like, look how cute I am. Look at this eye makeup. It's killer. And I know there's gonna be a hater somewhere who's gonna be like, you didn't hate to yourself, because I don't care. I honestly don't. This is an amazing look. I look amazing. You can't tell me otherwise. But all of that to say, I'm not Nars's market. This is super boring to me. There's like lippies. Is that what it is? Let me go peeky at it. Deeper, closer, harder, stronger, better, Okay, to start, it is the O-Face collaboration. YouTube been making changes, so I can't actually call it by its name, just in case. It is the O-Face collection. It's for Ulta. Inspired by the best-selling O-Face, all in a limited edition pink packaging. Of course, it's pink. There's an O-Face Foreplay Blush Quad, which is hard to say. Foreplay Blush Quad. $45, I'm good. With blush, highlighter, and contour. An O-Face Rising Eyeshadow Palette, which is, again, not for me. It's $49, 369 shades. I'm good. And the multiple O-Face. It's $39. It's a peachy pink with golden shimmer O-Face Rush Rosy Bronze Highlighter. Let me just get my leg out from underneath me. I started to try to put my legs underneath me and whatnot because I feel like it makes me bigger. You know what I mean? I'm like an animal in the wild who feels like if the bigger I make myself, predators won't try to eat me. So anyways, I don't know what that has to do with anything, but here we are. And this is what happens when you get into a new makeup nonsense bingo where the person is already drunk and now sobering up. I'm really hoping that when I get to the end of this, I'll just be like, oh, hey, everything's fine. I'm sober now. I'm going to take a shower. Like I'm going to look. Anyways, yeah, this isn't for me. It looks very boring, very staid, very, you know what? Teresa will like it. Teresa will like it. Teresa will like it and try it. I don't like it. Moving on. There's nothing else I can say other than like, I don't like it. I feel very not moved by that situation. So next up, oh my God, Juvia's Place. Now, because things have changed and their spackle of foundation that they have. Listen, I did wear that, but like honestly, the reason that I decluttered the old foundation, the first, I guess, I feel like it's the first. Did I just make that up in my head? Anyway, I had a Juvia's Place foundation that came out. It was all the rage. I am small, nah, I don't remember the name of it. Point is, thick girl. Thick. I don't know why I said it again. And the thing was, then they had their concealer decluttered as well because I felt like both of them were too thick. And I was like, that's enough. I'm good. However, whilst I am interested in trying this, what is this? You may be asking yourself. It's the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Radiance Foundation. I tried their original I Am Magic. I liked it, but it is thick. And this one seems to be less thick, more sheer. And if they had handled the situations better. Listen, Juvia's place. If you had been able to handle your situations better. When someone says something racist, does something racist under your account, you are under all of the obligations from my father, my father's father, and my father's father's father to handle it appropriately. You did not do this. You are dead to me. See, anyways, if it wasn't Juvia's place, I'd be interested in it. And then they have like a powdery something or other. Like, hold on, y'all, like I'm running from site to site. I'm trying not to spend too much of your time staring at everything because I know that my voice is very right now. Anyways, the main thing that I'm trying to get to is I do think that this is a step in the right direction for Juvia's place. I do think that they probably have a lot of favor to gain back after their inaction on a few things, but they're here and they're, I'm going to say not queer, but they have their I Am Magic sheer glowier foundation. I feel like a lot of people are going to be really happy about it. Some people are going to say that they're not going to buy from the brand, and it is what you choose to do, because you know what? Obviously, I am not the adultier adult, and I'm also not the boss of you. Look how big my hands are. I say that, and then they're like tiny. It's very embarrassing. Oh my God. ColourPop. Why are you acting like that? Anyways, I always think I'm like this big Bertha ass bitch, but I mean, can I fight you? Yes. But I'm an object in the mirror and I'm smaller than I appear. Okay, in the interest of showers, bedtime, and the fact that I have to be to work at 6 a.m., which means oh my God, it's only 7:08. The Kosas Blushes Life is out or coming out. One of those two things or both of them is happening at the same time or has already happened as I'm talking to you now. You see how I covered all my bases? Anyways, here's the thing. I typically like Kosas products, but I'm gonna have to make some amendments. I don't, because there's no preservatives, a lot of Kosas products stink. And I don't like it. How am I supposed to tell if it's off if it already smells bad? Like, y'all, I have the Kosas foundation and it smelled bad when I got it. And it smells bad now. Like, how do I know it's bad? It always stinks. Like, it always stinks. It always smells like clay and a boiled egg fart. Like, I'm just saying, put some fragrance in this shit. Add a preservative. Because let me tell you, first of all, this shade isn't gonna work for the dark skins like myself. But most importantly, like, as I said previously, I can't. No, I'm just gonna leave that alone. Now, y'all, this was let me see if it's in this arrangement. Y'all, this is the weirdest thing because somebody made a brush that looks like a corgi's ass. I'm sorry. Koyudo collection made the Kumano Fude, and it is a corgi's butt. I know that they're trying to say that it's a heart, but like that is a corgi's butt, a heart. What do you do with this? Besides admire. Like, if you have a corgi and you have this brush. We're gonna move on, and next up we have Catrice with the Dear Universe collection. The palette is boring, the packaging is fun. That's a Catrice thing. There's lashes. Do you like lashes? Apparently, I do. So there's lashes. There's lashes. I've said that like 3 times because that's all I can think about when it comes to Catrice. I'm like, there's lashes and there's lashes. And that's the good thing. Like I said, the packaging is so cute. But I'm absolutely uninterested in anything else. Like the palette doesn't bring me any joy. And I said this. I was like, this is literally, it's literally like trash on top of like sparkly trash. I don't know what's happening. I hate the beginning of the year because I feel like it's literally, they're just like dumping out. They're like, oh, could you buy this stuff that we were hoping that you would buy for the holiday, but you didn't. Now we have to repackage it and pretend like it's something new and fantastic and Defrod, please buy it so that we don't have to sell it to you again for Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day. I'm so sorry. That's how I feel about that. And I also feel like ever since Huda came out with them like marbly, everybody's been marbly. I don't care for it. Upsets my stomach. Gives me a bit of the Bee Gees, and I don't like that. Now, one thing I didn't, and maybe I missed it, but sugar drizzles, drizzle. Sugar drizzles, drizzle. Sugar drizzle, trashed. That's actually hard to say. Sugar drizzle, trashed. So they had the sugar drizzle trashed palette. And y'all, here's the thing about this. At first, I was squeeing, you know? And I was like, oh, no. I will sell your soul for this palette. Because I would sell your soul for a lot of things. Because, like, it's not mine. So I won't sell it. But here's the thing. I like these shades. I think they're pretty. But I think that, and listen, SD fans, not Shine by SD, but SD as in Sugar Drizzle fans, please don't try to come for me in the comments and like eat me up and be all angry. But the thing is, I think that if you have like 2 or 3 of the Sugar Drizzle palettes, you're good. All of them are all shimmer. There's only so much you can do. And listen, what I'm literally doing right now is I'm going back into my makeup collections to find like shades that I had difficulties working with, especially when it comes to indie brands. And now I'm just like trying to figure out what, like this again is ACI 32 from my Code On palette. I cannot believe I remember that off the top of my head. And it's because I am actually sobering up. Oh my God, bitch. Coffee really does work. I thought that was like movie shit. It's real life. And take like the best shower after this. Just like shower. Just like, oh, me listening to like Death Clock. Dear, near, 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 near. The point is, because initially I saw that, I was like, ah, and then I calmed down. I put my nipples back in place and I was like, Audra, you have the Sugar Drizzle palette and you also have the Sugar Drizzle palette and you have the MILF palette. Now I know that you're sitting here and being like, and I am too, because I don't remember the names of the other 2 Sugar Drizzle palettes, but I have them, bitch. Pizza Cat. My reality is that I think that I need to play with those Sugar Drizzle palettes that I already have more and enjoy them more before I add another Sugar Drizzle all shimmer palette to my collection. Am I on a low buy? No. Am I on a no buy? Absolutely not. Am I on a, I just want to play with my shit so that I can make sure that I am enjoying all of the stuff that I buy impulsively and without thought, as well as the things that I buy completely with intention? Yes. Moving on. Word for word. We're definitely not doing bingo. Listen, editing me, please understand, there is no bingo. Okay? This is a bingo video, but we are not going to be able to do that. There was a little bit of vomit in that. This is the one. Not your basic B palette. First of all, I need someone. Anyways, I hate this packaging. Let me just start there. I absolutely hate it. I don't know why there's cookies looking mad, irritated, annoyed. I don't know. There's a bunch of cookies. There's a bunch of cookie photos. And I already hate that about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I already really hate that. Not your basic batch. I see. Doesn't make it any less hateable. This feels to me like a palette that, you know how like Ryan Reynolds has a punchable face? So too does this palette. I literally don't know. And it's so wild because I can't find it right now. And that could also just be due to the fact that I am who I am as a human being, right? I'm not great. But nope, that's not it. But I hated the packaging wherever it may be because I feel like either it took a break or I can't scroll far enough to find it. But it was the basic batch palette. I don't know if they took it back off the market because I do remember it being stupid expensive, babes. Stupid expensive. It was like almost $200 for 369 shades of like multi-chromes. Also the names. Also, just a side note that half goddess, half hell, they're actually not comparable to one another because you can be half a goddess and like half human, or half goddess and like half goat, because like those are beings, and then like hell is a place. Anyways, they also look pretty crunchy. I think the shades are beautiful, but I'm not gonna pay that kind of money for that. You can you can lick my dirty feet, okay? Lick my dirty feet. Because absolutely, positively, under zero circumstances, zip, zilch, zero, am I paying that kind of money. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how many different ways in which I wouldn't pay for it. Like, what would I, okay, so it's $116, and they're like, oh, it's gonna have 15% off code eligible. It's been released since I've talked. It's the multi-shifter palette. I just need, like, lick my booty. Like, you can lick, oh my God, you can lick the carpet in my apartment. And you know what? They didn't change this carpet between me and the previous person. You can lick that carpet. I would actually almost rather lick this carpet. Like, not the whole thing, just like a spot, than pay that. I am so sorry, Touch of Glam Beauty. I would really, yeah. No, you're not tricking me into that. $160 for nine. It sounds like I'm saying no because I am in German. In Deutschland. Mood.aesthetic, my fellow gorgeous black queen, king. I don't know what you prefer because I don't see it in the bio if you're they, them, or he, him. But let me just, she, her. I'm not sure. Here's the thing. Baby, you are correct. Because they literally said if Be For Real was a palette. And it's this. Be For Real touch of, like, do y'all not know that there is a whole recession happening? Baby, look around. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, if anybody tries to tell you, oh, there's no recession, I work for the post office. This time last year, I was still buried in work. Buried with parcels, packages left and fucking right. It was a wild time. It didn't even actually start to slow down until like late February, March, okay? Because people had what? Money. Everything wasn't what? Overly expensive. literally the minute after Christmas ended, like everything just cut off. Just cut off. People ain't spending money on shit. And I'm damn sure not about to spend $100. Listen, people would talk shit. But people talk shit about Pat McGrath 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 10 shades, 100 and, I just want to say that to you. $125. Can we say it together? 1, 2, 5. Did you hear the snap? So satisfying. Let me just move on. Listen, they ain't gonna send me PR anyway. I'm too black. To something else. Before I get canceled. I don't care. Cancel me. Fuck off. What are you gonna do? Be like, Audra said that they were too black for your brand. What are they gonna do? Prove it? By doing the same thing that all of these brands do? The second I'm like, I'm too black, and be like, send nothing, say nothing, sit in the corner. Sometimes DM me and be like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, anyways, moving forwards, onwards. I'm going to talk about like 2 more things, and then I'm going to go take a hot shower. And seeing as it's only 7:25, I might actually be able to edit this. That's wild. I am making the stank face because I literally cannot believe that this has happened to me. And that's why we're going to just stop after this, because I don't have words. Okay. So listen, here's what's happened. My eyes got caught by something because I was like, this is actually like a lot. And what it is it's Morphe. It's Morphe. 35 shades. Because of course it's 35. You know what I mean? They can't. Morphe does not survive unless its palette is the size of your head and your house. So Morphe was like, listen, even though we're essentially going bankrupt, right? And we're closing all of our stores. And we had to acknowledge that our moves with Ariana Grande and her REM beauty didn't work out well because we chose a celebrity that was completely unenthusiastic about their brand and in fact knew nothing about it. To this day, it is literally always gonna mess me up that she, like, people would say, like, she would do videos of people still knowing nothing about the brand. She's literally doing a video and she don't know how this shit performs. Just sitting there with a surprised Pikachu face, like, ooh. Okay, I'm really not drunk at this point. Like, am I a buzz? Yes, but like now that I think about it, oh, it's giving me a pain in my side. So anyway, Morphe has unveiled the Ultra Lavender collection, which, in case you were keeping reference and or count, is an Ultra Lavender. The palette has 1, 2, maybe 3 lavender shades. And they're like, it's ultra. What does ultra mean, Google?
According to dictionary.com, going beyond what is usual or ordinary, excessive, extreme, noun, an extremist as in politics, religion, fashion, etc. Ultra, military.
All right, now let's look at the palette again. In case I've missed something. No, I have missed nothing. I have missed absolutely nothing. Not a thing. There's nothing ultra about this. Like, Ulta, please stop gaslighting us. Please stop. The brushes are cute. I've been holding my breath that entire time. I'm gonna escape that. It already came out. Oh God. Hey, I have a question. Just like a side question. For people who talk normally, or how do y'all talk and breathe? Anyways, here we are with this palette and all this bullshit. And I literally can't deal with it. And Kisaroon says it perfectly. I love the look of this, but feel like it could have been a 12, 15, or max 18 pan palette. A lot of it feels redundant. Yeah, it's so big. And then like UpGirl904 was like, why do people hate big palettes so much? I love variety and the only thing I don't like is trying to find room to store them. I'd rather have big palettes than several small ones. And I'm like, baby, it's the motion of the ocean, not the size of the boat. I'm so sorry. But like, no, in all seriousness, the reason that people hate big palettes so much, for this person who's never seen my video and is probably not going to watch it, the reason people don't like them is because when you make a palette this size, it means you don't have to commit to anything. You can throw in whatever you want and make it and just throw it into there's so many shades, shimmer and mattes, that are at this point so close to each other in shade range that like on the eye, they will make zero difference. That's why there's not variety. Like I understand like you're saying variety, but that's why people don't like them, because there's actually not variety. When you get palettes of this size, more often than not, you end up discovering you don't have variety. Some of your shimmers are the exact same, basically. Like on the eye, makes no difference. You can swatch things and they look different, and that's because you're using your finger and it's different concentration, different pressure points. That's why they look different. I just want to say that. Like you could, when you swatch with your finger and you go like this, that's completely different pressure than the pressure that you're going to put on the eye. And that's one of the reasons that so many of us will say like swatches don't mean everything, because like the pressure of my finger going like this across my hand, first of all, whether I mean to or not, subconsciously I'm going to press harder so that it comes across so that you can see it, right? So we already have that different. I'm not going to push on my eye the same way that I would on my hand, because obviously I want to keep my eye and I don't want to poke my own eye out, right? And unless I'm in a sauce situation, I'm not going to take my eye out. So the reason that people don't like these is because the closer that you look at this, the more that you're like, yeah, a lot of these shades are the same. Now, if they made a palette this size and it was so different in such a way that none of these shades would look the same on your eye and we're all like, where's a deep purple to go with this lavender? A hot pink maybe? Oh wait, it doesn't exist. Do you see, like those are already two shades that could replace some of these redundant ass shades. This is why people don't like them. People don't like them not because they're big, but because they are redundant, because there's not variety like you want there to be, which is why you would buy a palette of this size. The whole point of buying that many shades is so that you actually are getting them. You could call it lavender, but make it like a damn flower and have green for like this part and the brown. But like you make this, Morphe does this over and over and over and over again, and they give us these ginormous 35 pan palettes, and it's got some letter at the end, an L, a Z, a Q, and we're all supposed to pretend that we don't notice that it's the same. Okay, I'm done now. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That's the end. I think my neighbor thinks I'm crazy, and I am going to go take a hot shower and wash this makeup off of my face and pretend, listen, this was a wild ride, and I truly hope that you enjoyed the journey, because it was really intense for me. Honestly, I'm more sober now, to the point that I realized I'm like, wow, I'm a little different. That's okay. That's okay. But as usual, this video is sponsored by my wonderful patrons and channel members, without whom I would not be able to continue to create this wild, weird, wonderful, and most certainly wacky content that you see before you today. You know, thank y'all so much. We're so close. We're so close to actually being able to schedule stuff. I'm just waiting. As soon as I get the go ahead, like, you got the route, I'm going, I'm gonna lose it. All right, y'all. That is all. I'm gonna go. You know, as per usual, if you could do me a favor and hit the like the thumbs up button on your way out. You know what I mean? I don't ask for much from you, but if you could just like it because it like helps my ego so that I can feel, you know, like I'm doing something worthwhile with my life, because most of it is hot garbage, that would be great. And remember, I don't ask anything other than that because I don't need you to subscribe. I just need you to watch. Okay. Slurred words, shower time, belches. Bye-bye.